I'm not gonna lie, I used to say that SK must stand for Sleepy King, but now it stands for Savage King. All right, welcome to Taste Take. If you're new here, we're breaking down the new season of Love is Blind. We're gonna go through episodes 8, 9, and 10. I'll give you a quick little recap of where we came from, and then we're breaking it down. If that's something you're into, hit that subscribe button for your boy. For my regular Taste Takers, let's see if Alexa's dad got the adoption papers I sent over. I'm willing to convert. All right, super quick recap of where we are. Side note, do y'all be watching the recaps on Netflix, or do you just click skip recap? Or do you not click it because by the time you find the remote, it's too late? And then you're just stuck watching the recap. I'm just wondering. Anyway, we left off at that big party where the old cast members came back, including Andrew, who got his one-on-one time with Nancy. It was underwhelming. And I guess the highlight of that party was the face-off between Matt and Cole, which was also underwhelming. But by the end of the episode, Colleen was nowhere to be found, and Matt had steam coming out of his eyeballs. Let's see where we are this week. All right, episode 8. We're 10 days away from the wedding. You remember in episode 7, we left off with Matt looking for Colleen. And here, we see her in her ballet studio, just spinning around, living her best life. She explains Clubgate like, look, she came home, she saw Matt's bags were packed, and she told him like, look, you can leave. She said like, yeah, I finally got some balls. That's good for you, girl. Then we go over to Nancy and Bartise. And Bartise is over there pretending to be upset about this whole abortion issue, about her working with her ex. And he says that's why he doesn't want to smash her. Nancy tells us that Bartise is making her all sad and how last night she was vomit crying. I don't even know what vomit crying is, but it sounds disgusting. Does it include real vomit? Vomit? No, I'm not looking that up. Anyway, we move on to SK and Raven. And Raven's telling him how tired she is of everyone else's drama and how like our problems aren't that bad. And like I've said before, if you pay for Netflix, it comes with the rewind and the pause functions like built in. So please take a second and look at SK's face when she says that. She tells SK that Alexa told her that she would be the worst wife because she's so independent. And something tells me she's proud of this. And she's like, was that shade? Girl, get out of here. And she's talking about, was that shade? While at the same time, she's shading them, talking about how they all want to be stay-at-home wives and stay-at-home moms. Does she not realize that Alexa is part of an actual empire? Or does she not realize that Nancy has like 5 mortgages, while at the same time, Raven is trying to sucker SK to paying half of her one rent? Nah, that's cool. We chilling though. We chilling. We obviously chilling. Then we move on to Zay and Cole in that awkward cheesecake sesh, and we find out that they haven't smashed yet. Did we already know that? This gotta be the oddest couple on the whole show. Do you guys agree with that? I don't know what's happening with them. All right, then we're off to see Brennan and Alexa, and Brennan is about to meet her friends. Spoiler alert, they are terrible. Right away, they just sound like money, which doesn't make them annoying, but Alexa has to know that they're gonna question why she brought this cowboy home. I was giving Raven's friends a hard time last week, and they are kind of lame, but these friends are way worse. And one of the girls is like, she thought Brennan was a cameraman. Come on, man. Then Alexa drops the COW, or what I like to call the cringe of the week, when she's like, doesn't he look so good? And all the friends are like, and she's like, hello? And then they're all like, yeah, so good. The friends are annoying, but I think that Brennan did a good job holding his own. I mean, when you get married, you don't marry the person's friends, but on to Matt and Colleen is meeting Matt's friends, and this was another awkward meetup. The whole time, it just felt like Matt was like coaching his friends. You know, like when your friends call and you're like, hey bro, what's up, man? You're on speaker, my mom's here. This scene also revisits his ex-girlfriend trauma, where he was dating that girl since he was 15, then she cheated on him and got pregnant.
Yeah, double homicide.
I mean, like, that's messed up or whatever, but it's kind of like if you went out to eat at Outback Steakhouse and they overcooked your ribeye, and then you go to Fridays And the waiter's like, what can I get you? And you're like, well, I would get the ribeye, but last time it was overcooked. And the guy's like, from here? And you're like, well, no. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the point is, stop acting like Colleen is gonna cheat on you and get pregnant. Like, it's not weird to you that you're comparing every girl to your first girlfriend? I mean, I guess that's what therapy's for. Oh, and to make this whole Matt saga even worse, remember we were talking about Clubgate from episode 7 and he was freaking out and all that? Yeah, we find out that the whole thing was his fault because he was too drunk to remember that Colleen FaceTimed him from the club and was like, yo, I'm in the club. And then when she tried to FaceTime him again, he didn't answer. Like, something's wrong with this guy. Anyway, we go back to Raven and she's at the Nigerian fabric store looking for stuff for the wedding. She's with SK's mom and his friend. And of course, she hates the whole thing. Her plan is to wear an African headpiece and a traditional dress. And can you believe that the first thing that this woman says after she gets the Nigerian headpiece on is that she feels like Cardi B?
That's weird.
So this is where SK's mom and the friend start using those scare tactics about how it is to be married to a Nigerian man. Like, you need to humble yourself at all times. You need to keep food at the house. You need to remember that you're representing his name. And Raven's like literally melting away. We're seeing her literally melt off the screen. But also, they're talking about things that SK hasn't even asked for. So either he's hiding it or he's from the 21st century. We get a quick scene of Nancy and Bartiz learning how to salsa dance. Then we're off to Cole and Zay, who are signing their names on these locks and then hooking it up to the bridge as a sign of their unbreakable bond. So naturally, Cole drops it in the water. But he's just kidding. So he locks up the real one and throws the key in the water, which I'm pretty sure is pollution. But who cares about the planet anyway? This is where he tells her that his parents do want to meet her, but not until after the wedding, which makes zero sense. Like, what are we doing here? The whole thing just seems fishy. Next, we got some scenes of the cast, tuxedo and dress shopping. There's some crazy stuff here. Starting with Bartiz, who's tuxedo shopping with his sister. She's finally stopped crying over Nancy's hypothetically aborted special needs baby. The craziest part here is that Bartiz is telling his sister, like, yeah, the whole thing is crazy because, you know, when I went to show my boys Nancy, they were like, whoa. And y'all gotta help me out here because when I was watching it, I was like, is he saying on national TV that he showed his boys a picture of his girl and they were like disgusted? Because that would be crazy. On the other side, maybe they're saying, whoa, like, whoa, we're so surprised that you're engaged so soon or off this TV show. And that's one thing. But then my brain reminds me that the next thing that she says is, hey, that's not you. You're not superficial, which tells me she has no idea who her brother is. Either way, this is going to be a tough scene for Nancy to watch back. Speaking of Nancy, we go over to her and her mom dress shopping, and her mom is crying all over the place. I guess she's not the thug that I thought she was. SK's over there trying on his Nigerian drip. Raven's over there trying on dresses with her Nigerian-hating homegirls. Side note, I finally figured out who I think Raven sounds like.
I got a bad hip. I'm a bad bitch with a bad hip.
Who also, you know, likes hip hop. Like,
Right? No? Nobody? No? Okay. Anyway, hopping over to Brendan now, he's telling his people, you know what? After meeting Alexa's family, they're just like us. And let me tell you something right now. No. No, they're not. Speaking of Alexa, she's next up for dress shopping, and she hates all of them. But Nancy's out there being the best hype woman of all time. Like, everybody needs a Nancy in their life. Next up, we get to what I think was the craziest part of the whole episode. We're still dress shopping, but now we're with Zay, who's looking at dresses with her stepmom, who looks like Tabitha from Passions. Of course, we all know that Zay lost her mom at a young age, so that just makes things like dress shopping extra sad. So she comes out with a dress, and her stepmom's got her sister watching on video, and the whole scene is just like did it catch y'all slipping? Because, like, I'm not saying it caught me slipping, but I could see how it could catch you slipping or someone who's more emotionally vulnerable to maybe be, like, forced close to tears. I'm not saying that you cried over the scene. I'm just saying you could see how it could possibly trigger that emotion or reaction. Nobody? So yeah, everyone's watching this and getting just super sad. Is just some heavy stuff. But pay attention to Colleen and her friend at the end of that scene. It took me all the way out. Last scene of the episode here, and we got Raven and SK fighting. She thinks that he's not including her in the wedding. He's like, look, how did fabric shopping go with my mom? And she's like, well, now I know I need to keep Stu in the house at all times. Okay. Anyway, SK brings up the fact that he still thinks it's weird that her family's not involved. I don't know. Was that a fight? Anyway, that's pretty much episode 8. All right, episode 9 starts with Nancy and Bartise getting those permanent bracelets. Then we're off to Brennan and Alexa, where he's learning all about their family customs. They got this dude trying on yarmulkes and all that. Her grandfather was like, no matter what, your child is going to be Jew. And somewhere out there, Kanye West is punching the air. This is serious. And just so you know, effective immediately, Tate's Take has cut all ties with Kanye West. No more Yeezys, unless it matches perfectly with the outfit. Anyway, back to Alexa. Her dad explains to Brennan that this prenup basically means that even in a divorce, you still agree to take care of her. I don't know how to put this, but he can't take care of her now, respectfully. That scene ends with Alexa jokingly flipping off her father and grandfather. White people shit. We go over to Cole and Zay, who are learning their wedding dance. And for what it's worth, this dude Cole seems like he's really trying. And I'm not just talking about the dance. It seems like he's trying to make this whole thing work. Now Zay is sad again because she knows that she won't get the father-daughter dance. Is she? Is she like low-key? Is she dragging it? Okay, yes. No, she's not. Anyway, next scene, we're with Colleen and Matt. And Matt's about to meet Colleen's parents for the first time. I didn't even realize that they ain't meet yet. So Colleen's like, yeah, they know I'm always single like a Pringle, which, by the way, I ain't never seen a Pringle by itself. If you're not eating 3 or 4 at a time, what are you even doing? Or like if you take 2 and then you make it look like lips, you know? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Colleen's parents. I really wish she would have been like, all right, Matt, now tell him how you almost put the paws on me because I said that Cole was cute. Anyway, her parents are like, yeah, we know Colleen doesn't like to get deep, but yeah, me and her father, yeah, we get deep. We talk about books and movies. I don't think that's... All right, we're out of here. But before we go, can someone just check to verify where Colleen's dad was on January 6th? I'm just wondering. The dude looks like he's dropped a couple hard R's in his day. That's all I'm saying. I'm just kidding. Anywho, now we got some dinner dates, starting with this awkward-ass boat ride between SK and Raven, where for some reason, Raven thinks saying bone apple teeth instead of bon appetit is the funniest thing since Friday After Next. Just look at SK's face when she's explaining the joke. Then we have a nice little underwater dinner with Colleen and Matt. And Colleen's trying to explain to Matt that she's just a little unsure about the whole thing. But you can't tell Matt that because he's going to start to heat up. Which he does. He's like, stop playing games. Just say it. Say it. No, I want you to just say it. Then the smoke started to come from his head. And I literally wrote in my notes, Matt is toxic. And as soon as I did that, Netflix literally plays Might Be Toxic by Faith Richards. These producers know what's up. Cole and Zay get some surf and turf, and Zay seems to finally be giving Cole some credit. Alexa and Brennan are on a motorcycle over to this movie theater where Brennan set up this super nice movie clip for her that like professes her love and shows their whole story. And then Alexa still says she's only like 64% of the way there. Ugh, savage. Nancy and Bartise have a nice dinner where Nancy's having ribs for the first time, which to me is the biggest red flag of the whole season. But so far, Nancy's been good, so I'm gonna give her a pass. Nancy tells Bartise that she picked the perfect guy. Girl, but also like low key, did Bartise not make any mistakes this episode? That's progress. Last scene of the episode here, we got Cole cooking for Zay. And here is where she teaches him about wine glasses and how you use a stem glass with white wine so you don't heat up the glass, which makes a lot of sense. Y'all knew that already? Zay is like, wow, you're finally cooking for me. Yet at the same time complaining about how he does every step of it. At this point, Cole is fed up, so he goes in the microwave to get his ammo and empties the clip of his toy gun on Zay in the kitchen. Is this not the weirdest relationship? They proceed to have this awkward ass fight over dinner where he's like, do you want to get married to me? And she's like, I would love to get married to you. And he's like, no, Yes or no? Do you want to get married to me? And she's like, I would love to be able to say that I want to get married to you. Huh? What are you talking about? He tells her that he thinks that she thinks that he's inferior. And she tells him that she's never felt that way.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
So she's telling him, like, you gotta be unassuming. Have you ever met any woman ever? She tells him that she's the catch of the century. And then he does it. Commits the cardinal sin of all relationship fights. He asks her if she's bipolar.
You need to leave.
She's like, are you projecting? And this man doubles down and he wants an answer. He's like, no, like for real, like, are you bipolar? This woman has to answer her whole fiance like, no, I'm not bipolar. Oh, that's pretty much episode 9. All right, episode 10 starts off right where we left off with Cole and Zay. And I guess they made up. He's like, I love you. I just kind of hate you a little bit sometimes. Okay. And can someone get that damn bug off his shirt? Ugh. All right, on to the Bachelor and Bachelorette parties, starting with the girls. And they're all poolside taking shots. Well, most of them. Colleen, I saw that baby shot. The Bachelor party is going down at a rodeo that I guess Brennan helped set up. And they're going to go on what's called a calf scramble, where you chase around baby cows and try to take the string off their neck. Naturally, SK sits this one out, which I'm making fun of this whole thing, but it's kind of lame. Like, if I was there, I would participate. I never been to no rodeo either, but when in Rome. Because I'm sure if you brought all these dudes over to Nigeria and you start doing some Nigerian shit, you'd want them to participate. But whatever, it's cool. Back to the girls, and they're all talking about their relationships, and Nancy is talking about how she thinks that Bartise really grew. Raven somewhere in the corner rolling her eyes. Then Raven jumps in and she's just like, yeah, I just believe in signs, because SK bought us these fish that's supposed to represent our relationship, and then one of them died. Then Colleen jumps in. She's like, yeah, me and Matt were good, but now I'm just not sure. And then she's like, I would take a bullet for him. Poor girl doesn't even realize it'll be Matt doing the shooting. Then Zah jumps in and she's telling everybody that Cole's family doesn't want to meet her until after the wedding, but for some reason, his mom and sister follow her on Instagram. It's just creepy. Then here go Alexa dragging, like, girl, you're so much better than him. Like, I mean, maybe, but like, relax. All right, now the girls are off to the second part of their bachelorette, which is the strip club. And they're all going crazy. Zah's out there twerking, putting money in strippers' undies, probably grazing meat. And then Nancy's talking about how, I just need my man. I don't need these strangers, shaking their meat in my face. And then they got a clip of her on stage. Anyway, pretty much everyone's living their best life, except Raven, who of course is in the corner being all frumpy because she wants to go home. Then you flip over to the guys with their bachelor party. It's gotta be the most tame bachelor party ever. They're just sitting around talking. I don't even think it's music playing. Anyway, enough of that snooze fest. It's finally wedding day. First up, we got SK and Raven, and everyone's getting ready. Raven and SK's mom are having a nice talk, and Raven's like, look, I'm sorry, it's not traditional. And SK's mom, of course, is just being super nice. Like, it's cool. Like, your family now. We love you. She's hooking her up, putting the Nigerian headpiece on for her. And as annoying as Raven and her friends can be sometimes, it's still messed up that her family's not there. You got Zainab literally crying her eyes out because she lost her mom and she'll never be physically able to be a part of her wedding day. And at the same time, Raven's mom just chooses not to. And then Raven's like, nah, I know my mom and my grandma are out there somewhere cheering me on. Like, girl, from where? They're probably at Home Goods right now, price checking a candle. The whole thing is messed up. And then she has to walk down the aisle by herself. No one should have to do that. Anyway, enough about that. Now they're at the altar. They both exchange vows. It's pretty good. Then the officiant looks at SK and she's like, all right, bro, do you take this woman to be your wife, to have and to hold, and to pay her rent in sickness and in health? And this guy SK says, I do not. What? I couldn't believe it. I did not see that coming. I literally wrote down OMG. Like, honestly, I thought he would say yes, and then they would go to her and she would be like, nah, I'm out. That's crazy. He got ahead of it. But then, like, was it just me, or did Raven look like relieved? She just walked away, went outside to stand in the rain. She had to go get her own umbrella. She took that headpiece off so damn quick. So SK explains his decision was around all the unknowns, about him going to school, about her moving or not moving, about her family issues. This man took us for a loop. And watch this. After all that drama, when it's all said and done, and Raven's sitting in the bridal room all by herself, Who's the only person to come and check on her? SK's Nigerian mom. Yeah, you spent the whole season sneak this in Nigerian culture, and now look where you are. Anyway, that was a lot to unpack, but we got another wedding to get to. Next up, we got Nancy and Bartise. I guess they're going order of blackest to white. Okay, sheesh. Just kidding. Nancy's family's all there, Bartise's family is all there, and Bartise's friends, who look like they hack computers, bring him over the gift from Nancy. Of course, she sends this man the nicest, most thoughtful gift. This man's breaking down crying, probably because he knows he sent her a whack gift. It's probably a picture of Raven that says on the bottom, she's not even that hot. But in all seriousness though, is he crying like this because he knows he's gonna say no and he feels bad? Or is he really like, into it? Anyway, we go over to Nancy, and I was totally kidding about him sending a whack gift. But this dude sent her a note and a shot. Like, that was the gift. He probably didn't have to pay for the shot. He just told the producers, can you pour something in this little cup and give it to her? And a note that said like, let's do this. That's 3 words. And she's laughing about it. He probably sent her that shot to take the edge off when he leaves her at the altar. This dude Bartise looks terrible. He didn't do nothing with that raccoon on his head that he calls hair, and he's dressed like a magician, which I guess means he's planning to disappear. All right, I'm chilling. So now we're at the altar, and we're getting ready to see if they say, I do. But I keep getting distracted by Nancy's brother's tie knot. What is that? But if he can tie that, he could definitely tie something special around Bartise's neck. All right, focus. The officiant goes to Nancy first, and they're like, all right, Nancy, do you take this man to be your husband, to have and to hold, and to hear him tell you he doesn't think you're that hot, till death do you part? Nancy says, I do. Doesn't even hesitate. Right away, boom, I do. Like she's been saying the whole show. The most consistent person on this whole show is Nancy. Then they go to Bartise, and the episode ends. What the hell? Whew, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. So I guess it's pretty much episode 10. All right, this whole thing was crazy. I honestly thought 8, 9, and 10 was going to be all this build up to the end of 10 being like everybody at the altar, and then all of the finale would have been like, I do, I don't, I do, I don't. But they just went ahead and gave us a whole answer for 1.5 of the weddings. That is crazy. So I'll be back next Wednesday for the finale. And then sometime after that, they're going to do a reunion. So that's going to be spicy too. There's a lot of stuff going on. 2 questions of the week. I touched on them earlier. Do y'all think that Raven was really relieved to hear SK say no? Do you think that she was going to say yes or no? What do y'all think there? Question 2. What do we think Bartise is going to say? I think he's going to say no. What do y'all think? So yeah, let me know all that in the comments. And if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the party. I really appreciate y'all. Damn. Thanks for the time, y'all. Peace.